Yes, I'm on Row. They say GLP-1s for weight loss is a shortcut. It's not. It's science. After kids, it's the medicine my body needed. GLP-1s helped me lose 31 pounds. One app to hit my goals.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Burrs or Belly Dirt channel. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I'm gonna be your today's host, and I have so many statistics to put up here, and we are gonna come out to talk about it. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
Okay, so I had about 3 people in the last 45 minutes send me this video because they knew I wasn't going to like it. And I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, Serena Williams, like world's best tennis player, who she said works out 5 hours a day, wasn't losing weight. Well then, you might as use a GLP-1. What does that say to the rest of us? That's saying that if you're exercising and you lose weight, why bother? Why bother? When there's so many other reasons that we would exercise that weight has nothing to do with. Hence why I don't focus on diets anymore with my clients. Number 2, I have a real problem with her standing there and injecting herself. Where has this world gone where we're watching someone inject themselves and say, just do this so you can look like me? Like, what? I'm sorry, I grew up in a generation where the only time I was ever injected was by my doctor or a nurse, or otherwise you would see people injecting things that are not good for you. Drugs on the street. There you go. Pun intended. And this point I have to make. As a black woman, a black athlete who is representing other young black girls are looking to her, we already have a more difficult time trying to be accepted in society. And then we get this. Not cool. We are in 2025 and we're more unhealthy than we've ever been before. And remember, statistically, it's also in 2025 where 1 billion women will be in some stage of menopause across the globe. There's a big shift happening globally. And let's also make sure it includes taking back control of our health. Let's stop judging. Let's stop dieting and start treating ourselves the way we deserve to be treated, especially as we transition through menopause.
Serena Williams, she has bleach, she's lighter, her hair is lighter, her voice is lighter, and she's lost all her muscle mass. She's basically giving props to GLP-1s. She says that they're responsible for this. You have the interview. Serena Williams is a Roe member, paid partner, and has family invested in Roe, the GLP-1 that she's endorsing that is responsible for her weight loss. Go ahead and go.
I am on GLP-1s and I'm not ashamed to say it and say it loud. I am on Row and let me tell you why. So after my first Kid Olympia, the weight literally just would not come off. Gosh, I was eating clean every single day without any big changes to my body. And it was really so frustrating to see the scale always stay the same and or not. If it was anything, it was more. And I was like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? So I made the choice. I made the choice to get on a GLP-1 and I'm doing it now through Row. And honestly, it was like the best decision and the best thing I did for my body in a very long time. The weight slowly started coming off and it felt real, like my body had the support that it needed. And listen, if I was doing everything at a level 10, playing tennis, being professional, and I couldn't lose weight, I know that I'm not the only one. Sometimes we just need a little extra support. Row was the support I needed, and they made it easy for me to get care. So if you need support, go to row.co/SW to get the care that you need.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I'd ever talk about this publicly, but I think it's time we change the conversation. So I'm proud to say I'm on Row. I trust them with my GLP-1 treatment.
She owns the company. Of course she trusts them. It's funny how this is coming out right after, and they don't want to call it for what it is. Ozempic, that's another company, but it's the same product, causing stomach paralysis and all that. Like I said, we got another video going in the devil and all that. Okay, stop the cap, Serena, please. And she doesn't look healthy. I mean, she lost all of her muscle, and that's how we could tell that you were on it, because this is the only thing that will cause you to lose muscle like this. Moving on. Do you like me? Yes or no? This show is 3 beautiful women that are waiting to be chosen by their mystery man.
We ain't seen his ass yet, but how he sounding? We like it.
Some of these interactions get interesting and real messy.
What's going on? How you doing?
Tasha K, I'm kind of nervous because his voice sounds too familiar.
Oh. I even intervened and asked my questions to extract my wine my way. Do you have a high body count?
But do I date a lot of women and
A lot of women.
Nah, but I mean, listen.
Do you like me? Yes or no? Coming soon to Unwind with Tasha K.
Tasha K presents Do You Like Me? The ultimate dating experience is here. Premiering Tuesday, September 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Subscribe now to watch the show.
The GLP community is rejoicing because Serena Williams just admitted that she is on a GLP-1. 7-time Wimbledon champion, not to mention she's competed in the Olympics like 4 times, admits that after she had her second child due to inflammation and due to her joints, that it was just really hard for her to lose weight. She also stated that she was training 5 hours a day and she does not take shortcuts, so taking a GLP-1 was out of the question at some point. Serena stated that she stuck to her regular routine by implementing eating right, exercising, and training, and she still couldn't lose the weight because of her hormonal changes and also because of inflammation and joint pain. She also admits that her trainer was letting her know, hey, you got to lose a little weight, and that she also admitted to herself that she had to lose a little weight because during her past performances and her past games, she just wasn't performing the way that she used to perform after having the children. So recently, she teamed up with Ro, and she is now on a GLP-1 medication. She is down 31 pounds. Serena Williams said it out of her mouth. She was eating right. She was exercising. She was training 5 hours a day, and she still couldn't lose the fucking weight. So if anybody tells you it's calories in versus calories out, all you got to do is weightlifting. All you got to do is exercise more. Just know that's where GLP-1 comes in at, because it's a lot more complicated than that.
Serena Williams taking Ro. I'm assuming Ro is something very similar to Ozempic. This video is more of a curiosity video. Serena Williams is one of, if not the greatest athlete to ever live. The way she looks like a Greek goddess in her body. Her natural muscle texture and tone. She's always looked like one of the most fit people in the world, and her resume on that tennis court kind of confirms that she's one of the best athletes to ever live. We all know that she's had health issues before. She's been open about that. She even had clothing that she wore on the tennis court that would help with her health condition. So just because you're fit and in good shape doesn't mean you can't have internal health conditions. We're human. She's also a mother. She's had a child before. And I don't know her personal reason. I've just seen the ads. So can someone explain to me why one of the greatest athletes to ever live, who still looks amazing? I know you can have internal problems no matter how you look. Like, what is Ro doing for her? I don't know. Like, I even saw a post on another social media, because I seen the ad was a picture of her, injecting in her arm. And someone was like, injecting Ro into your perfectly sculpted muscular arm. It's kind of wild. So I'm just basically just asking, what are the pros for, again, Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes who ever lived, taking Ro? Like, I'm kind of confused, because this is very reminiscent of like when Oprah was really heavily involved in Weight Watchers. That made sense because we saw Oprah's weight constantly fluctuate. So it made sense to do something that would provide consistency. We've never seen Serena look off. Even if you say she's fluctuated, she's always looked fit. Whether it's gained a little weight, lost a little weight, because she says she's naturally built like that. So that's why, I don't know, guys. I'm just confused.
Serena Williams is coming under fire for her GLP-1 ad, and I just have to say that the thing about it that is the most wild is not that she's taking it. You can do whatever you want with your body. If you want to take weight loss medication, good for you. Do whatever you want. If you don't, also good for you. But it is wild to me to be marketing a drug that if you had been on when you got famous for being an incredible athlete, you might not have been able to perform in the same way, right? Like her strength and her power was from her body, right? It was not from a GLP-1 body. And that is the part I think that is the most interesting, that we are now using people who are like beacons of strength and athleticism and body image and all of that to market weight loss drugs. And isn't that a wild ass time to be alive? The comment section of that ad is insane. It's an ad too. It's not like her coming out and being like, yeah, you know, I was on a weight loss journey. She also has in there, she's talking about how it was exactly what she needed after having a baby to get back on track. And it's like, oh shit, y'all. Like we are like, we're back to this skinny and the body bounces back, and like even strong, incredible athletes take GLP-1, and it is a wild thing to behold.
Serena Williams is trending for something that has nothing to do with tennis, nothing to do with her business empire, and nothing to do with her status as one of the greatest athletes in history. It's about weight loss. Specifically, it's about Serena openly admitting that she's on a GLP-1 medication, the same class of drugs that includes Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. And this revelation has sparked a storm of reactions across the internet. Let's begin with the fact. Serena said about after the birth of her second child in 2023, she struggled to lose weight, despite training for up to 5 hours a day, eating healthy and following the same routines that had carried her through 2 decades of elite performance. She couldn't shift the pounds. She pointed to inflation, hormonal changes, joint pain, and the reality of being a mother over 40 as major factors. Eventually, she turned to a GLP-1 regime, and she says she lost 31 pounds. Now, that alone, a world-class athlete saying exercise and diet didn't work for her would have been newsworthy. But Serena didn't just tell this story as a confession or an encouragement to women struggling postpartum. She stood it as a part of an advertisement. Specifically, she partnered with a telehealth company called Arrow, a company where her husband, athlete here, sits on the board. So there is not just a health angle here, there is a financial angle. And that is where many people started getting uncomfortable because, let's be clear, Serena is not broke. She's not some struggling celebrity desperate for brand deals. She's one of the wealthiest female athletes in history, with sponsorship, fashion ventures, investment, and her husband's tech empire. So the choice to attach her name and image to a weight loss drug advertisement carries a different kind of weight. Americans are reacting in 2 major ways. On one side, you have people saying finally even Serena Williams admits it's not just calories in, calories out. If the best athletes in the world couldn't lose the weight through sheer discipline, then maybe we need to stop shaming everyday people for not being able to do it. For them, Serena is a proof that obesity is more complicated than willpower, and that medication can be a legitimate tool. But then, on the other side, you have a wave of backlash. People are saying this is dangerous, irresponsible, and tone deaf. Critics argue that Serena as a role model, especially for young black girls, in reinforcing a harmful message that even if you are strong, disciplined, and hardworking, your body still isn't good enough unless it's thin. And that solution isn't to accept yourself, but to inject yourself. This discomfort isn't just about the drug, it's about the imagery. Serena literally stood in front of a camera and injected herself as part of the ad. For many, that visual was jarring. There is something unsettling about seeing needles used casually in a commercial setting, especially when most of us associate injections either with medical necessity, vaccinational insulin, or with darker reality like drug use. For older generations who grew up with a message that injection are serious medical procedures, this feels like a collapse of boundaries between healthcare and marketing. And then there's a racial and cultural dimension, as one black woman puts it. Representation matters. Serena Williams has been one of the most powerful symbols of black female excellence in model history. She wasn't just a tennis champion, she was a symbol of strength, resilience, and unapologetic blackness in a sport dominated by whiteness. She stood for the idea that our bodies, muscular, powerful, curvy, and are vowed and beautiful. And now to see her promoting a weight loss injection feels like a betrayal of that image. It has if she says saying if even I, Serena Williams, wasn't good enough in my natural form. This hits harder when you think about the struggle black women already face in society. We are judged more harshly for our bodies, stereotyped as less feminine, most aggressive, and less desirable. Young black girls looked at Serena and saw someone who broke those stereotypes with grace and dominance, and now some fear that message is being undermined by a drug commercial. Of course, defenders argue that Serena has every right to use her platform anyhow she wants. She's human, she's a mom, she's over 40, she's dealing with the same challenges millions of women deal with: menopause, hormonal changes, postpartum weight, and in her own words, she wasn't performing at her best, and this medication helped her. For those who have struggled silently with the same issue, Serena's openness feels refreshing. But even if we grant her that, the question remains, should celebrities be advertising drugs at all? Jamila Jamil, the actress and activist, raised this exact concern. She said it was troubling that Serena was endorsing GLP-1 medications without any mention of the risks or side effects. These drugs are not harmless. They can cause nuisance, vomiting, pancreatitis, sterotumor. Long-term studies are still ongoing. They are not as simple as popping a vitamin, and yet the ad glosses over all that. Instead of present GLP-1 as the magic solution, the missing link even for Serena Williams. And if it works for her, why not for you? That is the dangerous simplicity of celebrity advertising. It compresses complex medical decisions into a 30 seconds emotional pitch. There is another layer here. The business model. The telehealth companies like Ro thrive on convenience and accessibility. They have disrupted healthcare by making prescriptions easier to obtain, often through quick video consultations and subscription models. But critics say this model patronizes sales over safety. When you have Serena Williams pitch the product, the emotional power outweighs the fine print, and millions of people may rush into it without understanding what they are signing up for. Think about the parallel to vaccines. During the pandemic, governments recruited celebrities to promote vaccination. Some argue that obesity, like COVID, is a public health crisis. So why shouldn't celebrities promote GLP-1 once? But yet there is a difference. Vaccines were about collective protection against a deadly virus. GLPs are about individual weight loss, marketed in a culture obsessed with thinness. One is a public health measure, the other is a commercial opportunity. And let's not forget this is happening in a vacuum. We are in 2025, a year when 1 billion women globally will be in some stage of menopause. This is a massive demographic shift. Women's health, hormones, and aging are becoming global conversations. GLPs are entering that conversation not just as weight loss tools, but as lifestyle aids for women struggling through transitions. Some see this as empowerment, others see it as exploitation. So where does this leave us? On one hand, Serena Williams has opened the door to an honest discussion, that sometimes exercise and diet doesn't work, and medicine has a role to play on. On the other hand, her choice to package that truth as an advertisement for a company tied to her husband's business interests casts a long shadow of doubt. Is this really about helping women, or is it about selling subscription? And that is the dilemma we all face as consumers in 2025. Who do we trust? Who do we trust? How do we trust celebrities whose bodies are their brand? Do we trust telehealth companies promising convenience? Do we trust big pharma with its billions in profit, or do we look inward, acknowledging that health is complex, individual, and not something that can be captured in a single ad campaign? At the end of the day, Serena's GLP-1 announcement is bigger than one athlete. It's a snapshot of where we are as a society, a place where even the strongest bodies are deemed insufficient, where injections are sold like lifestyle hacks, where the line between health and marketing blurs, and where we left to question whether our role models are guiding us toward empowerment or just selling us the next product.
And if you watch up to this extent, don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, why not just share your thought? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.